welcome you in this class, and today we will study chapter 5, Footprints Without Feet, written by H.G. Wells. In this chapter we will study about a scientist. Like that, by title we can understand footprints without feet. It means there were no sign of feet, but we can see footprints. It means we can say in this chapter a scientist whose name is Griffin, and he made a different kind of drugs. We can say a very expensive drug. When he drank, he became invisible. It means no one can see him, and why he had how he had done, and how the people will face, and how many problems he will face. So all these things we'll study in this chapter. Chapter 5, Footprints Without Feet. The two boys started in surprise at the fresh, muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet. Bare feet. I have written here, bare feet means wearing nothing in feet, without shoes or without slippers. There were two boys started in surprise, and they became very surprised. Why they became surprised? Because in front of both of them there were fresh muddy imprints. Fresh muddy means full with the soil. Imprints means impression of a pair of bare feet. It means in front of both of the boys there were footprints, but in front of both of us there were no men. No one was there, but fresh footprints visible there. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London? And where was the man? And why were they surprised? Because there were no men. And how the footprints visible one by one in front of them, footprints visible. So they became very surprised. As they gazed means looked intently. Looked intently. So both boys were continuously. They were looking at the footprints. That how it happens if there is no man, then how the one by one footprints visible there. As they gazed, a remarkable sight met their eyes. A fresh footmark appeared from now here. Now again one more footprints visible there. Further footprints followed. So they started to follow the footprints, one after another, descending the steps and progressing down the streets. The boys followed, fascinated. Fascinated means strongly attracted. Both boys strongly attracted, until the muddy impressions became fainter and fainter. Fainter and fainter means light, because as the soil removed from his bare feet, that time that the footprints became light and more light. So fainter and fainter means light and light, and at last disappeared altogether. And at last, when his feet became clearly, it means all the dust removed from his feet. That time there were no footprints on the road. The explanation of the mystery was really simple enough. The bewildered boys had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. So the bewildered boys means the puzzled boys. Bewildered means puzzled. Why they were puzzled? Because they didn't know about that how this footprints visible there, because no man was there, but they were following the footprints, so they were puzzled. So in front of us, both of them, there were a scientist, and he had discovered a drug or a drink. By this, human body became transparent. Griffin the scientist had carried out experiment after experiment to prove that the human body could become invisible. So after a long time of experiment, he finally discovered this how to make a human body transparent or invisible human body. Finally, he swallowed certain rare drugs. So finally, when he discovered this, he swallowed, he drank that rare drugs. Rare means a very expensive drug, rare, expensive. So when he swallowed, his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass. So his body completely became just like a sheet of glass. Though it also remained as solid as glass, and his body became solid also, just like a glass. Brilliant scientist, though he was a griffin, was a rather a lawless person. Lawless person means who does not follow any kind of rule. His landlord disliked him, tries to eject him, and wherever he was living, his landlord disliked him. His landlord didn't like him, and he wanted to throw out from his house. He wanted to throw the griffin, the scientist, from his house. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house. So to take revenge, when his landlord threw him out of from his house, he thought that now I will take a revenge. So in this revenge, what he had done, he set fire to the house. To get away without being seen, he had to remove his clothes, because already he drank that rare drug. So now, as he removed his clothes, no one can see him, no one can see his body. If he will wear the clothes, then clothes we can see the clothes, because his body became transparent, not clothes. So first he set out the fire of his landlord's house, and later then he removed clothes from his body. Thus it was that he became a homeless wanderer, and now he became a homeless wanderer. Wanderer means who roaming here and there, because now he has no house. A homeless wanderer, without clothes, without money, and quite invisible. Now even he has not clothes also, because he removed his clothes. If he will not remove clothes, then by his clothes anyone can saw him. Means face we cannot see, but clothes we can see, and anyone can catch him. So he removed his clothes. So now he has no money, no clothes, completely he is invisible. Until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. Only how the footprints visible, because as his feet full of mud or dust, that time by this dust or by this mud or by this soil, there were footprints. So we can see only footprints. As that the two boys were, they became surprised. Why? Because in front of both of them there were footprints of this scientist. He escaped easily enough from the boys who followed his footprints in London. But his adventures were by no means over. He had chosen a bad time of the year to wander about London without clothes. He escaped easily he escaped from that two boys, because he was running, and as his feet became, as the dust removed from his feet, now no one can see him. So very easy way he escaped himself by that two boys. But he had chosen a very bad time, because that time there was too much cold, and it's not easy that in a cold season we cannot go out without clothes. But that scientist, if he will wear the clothes, then he will be catched by the police or the other person, and if he removed his clothes. But now it's not easy to wander here and there in this cold season. So he chosen a very bad time. It was a midwinter. The air was bitterly cold. It means the air was extremely cold, and he could not do without clothes. So he was not able to do anything. Instead of walking about the streets, he decided to slip into big London store for warmth. He decided to sleep. To sleep means get into. So finally he decided that I will enter. In front of himself there were a big store. So he decided I will enter in this storeroom. So big London store for warmth. And why? Because he wanted to warm his body. So he entered in this. Closing time arrived, and that time this store's closing time arrived, and as soon as the doors were shut, Griffin was able to give himself the pleasure of clothing and feeding himself without regard to expense. Now no one was there in that store, so he could enjoy the clothes or the food and and many things were there in the storehouse. He broke upon boxes and wrappers and fitted himself out with warm clothes. So he opened the boxes and he took the warm clothes and he wore the warm clothes. Soon with shoes and overcoat and a white brimmed hat. Brimmed hat means just like we can say a hat who has a sharp corner. In this picture you can see this is a brimmed hat. So he wear this warm clothes and a hat also and shoes also. He became a fully dressed and visible person. Now he dressed himself so anyone can see his body. In the kitchen of the restaurant he found cold meat and coffee, and he followed up the meal with sweets and wine taken from the grocery store. Finally he settled down to sleep on a pile of kilts. Pile of kilts means in Hindi we can say rajaiyo ka dher. So finally he slept on the pile of kilts. If only Griffin had managed to wake up in good time, all might have been well. As it was, he didn't wake up until the assistants were already arriving next morning. Everything was everything was okay with the Griffin, but the bad thing what? Because in the morning assistant entered in the storehouse, and that time also the Griffin was sleeping on that pile of kids. So it was not good for him. As he did not wake up until the assistants were already arriving next morning. When he saw a couple of them approaching, he panicked and began to run. Panic means got scared or nervous, as he found that there were assistants entered in the storehouse and they were calling to that Griffin. So he became very nervous and he started to run. They naturally gave chase. In the end, he was able to escape only by quickly taking off his newly found clothes. So only this way Griffin had that if he will remove his clothes, then again he will be invisible. So he did the same thing. So once more he found himself invisible but naked in the chill January air, because it was the time of January month, and in the January month there was too much cold and the cold wind also blowing. So it was not easy for him. This time he decided to try the stock of a theatrical company in the hope of finding not only clothes but also something that would hide the empty space above his shoulders. Shivering with cold, he hurried off Drury Lane, the center of the theatre world, and his body was shivering by this cold wind. He soon found a suitable shop. He made his way invisible upstairs and came out a little later, wearing bandages round his forehead and dark glasses, false nose, big bushy side whiskers and a large head. So finally what he had done, he entered in a suitable shop and bandage. He covered his face by bandage and he wore all the clothes and hat also. So now he became a completely visible person. To escape without being seen, he callously attacked the shopkeeper from behind. Callously means insensitive. The shopkeeper from behind, after which he robbed him of all the money he could find, and he had taken all the money also. Eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Iping, and finally he went in a village named Iping by train, where he booked 2 rooms at the local inn. Inn means a type of a place or where the owner were there, and so he booked a 2 room. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was in any case an unusual event. A stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. Wagging means, so at this time in the January month, generally there were no person came or no traveler came in this January month. So it was a very strange for the landowner. But they had given 2 rooms to him, but his appearance was not just like a normal person. So they were talking, begging means they were talking about him. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly. Mrs. Hall, every time she want to be friendly with the Griffin, but because Griffin, he was a not visible person and he wore all these bandages and the clothes, so he wanted to keep distance from himself. But Griffin had no desire to talk and told her, my reason for coming to Iping is a desire for solitude. So he told to that lady that I have come here just only for peace because I want peace. मैं शांति के लिए आया हूँ. Solitude means peace. Or we can say I want to spend here alone time. It means I want to live here alone. So I don't want to talk with any other person. Or I don't want to friendly with anyone. I don't wish to be disturbed in my work. Besides, an accident has affected my face. So he told to that landowner and his wife, Mrs. Hall, that recently I met with accident. So I want this. I want to spend my time alone. So don't talk to me. Satisfied that her guest was an eccentric scientist. Eccentric means strange. And in view of the fact that he had paid her in advance and already he paid advance money, Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. He pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his strange habits and irritable temper, but the stolen money did not last long. So Mrs. Hall had a very bad, we can say, bad manner. So again she asked for money to Griffin, but that time because he stolen money from that shopkeeper, so he replied that now I have no money, but very soon I will receive a check, so I will give you money. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. Creeping downstairs, they heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. Without making any noise and with a poker grasped firmly in his hand, the clergyman flung open the door. Surrender. Then to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. So there also what he had done, he stolen the money from the clergyman. Clergyman means we can say priest. So he stolen the money from the priest. So as he entered into his room, again he removed his clothes and completely he became invisible. So as they entered in the room appeared to be empty. He and his wife looked under the desk, behind the curtains, and even up the chimney. There was not a sign of anybody. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. Extraordinary affair, the clergyman kept saying for the rest of the day. But it was not as extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. The landlord and his wife were up very early and were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. Usually it was shut and locked, and he was furious if anyone entered his room. Furious means very angry. So as again they came into their house, they found that the Griffin's rooms, the doors were completely open. Generally, he closed his doors because he didn't like to talk with anyone. Even he became angry also if anyone tried to talk with him. Then how it's happened, how the door not closed. If anyone entered his room, the opportunity seemed too good to be missed. They peeped around the door, saw nobody and decided to investigate. So finally they decided that now Griffin is not there. So we investigate that who had stolen the money and actually what the Griffin is doing in our house. The bedclothes were cold. showing that the scientist must have been up for some time. And stranger still, the clothes and bandages that he always wore were lying about the room. As they entered that in the Griffin's room, they found that bandages and clothes were there on the bed. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to her ear. Sniff means breathing of a nose. So she heard a breathing of a nose, this kind of sound as she heard. A moment later, the hat on the bedpost lifted up and dashed itself into her face. And as she heard this sniffing sound, that time Griffin took his hat and threw on her face. Then the bedroom chair became alive, and then what he was doing, he started to move the chair. Springing into the air, it charged straight at her, legs foremost, as she and her husband turned away in terror. So they both became very terrified. They became frightened. Why? Because how it is possible? Or no one was there in the Griffin's room, and the chair was moving, and anyone was not there. Then also anyone has thrown hat on Mrs. Hall. So they terrified and came out from his room. The extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room and then appeared to slam, and slam means with a full force shut the door and locked the door after them. And as they came out from his room, automatically the room closed. Actually not automatically, Griffin was there in the room, so he locked his room. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysterics. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits and that the strangers had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. Haunted means frightened by giant or by spirits. In Hindi we can say bhoot pret. She thought like that there is something, spirits were there. So these things happening in the Griffin's room. My poor mother used to sit in that chair. She moaned. To think it should rise up against me now. The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. But witchcraft or not, when news of the burglary at the clergyman's home became known, but as they heard about someone had stolen money from the clergyman's house. The strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money. Because when that Mrs. Hall asked to him for money, he denied that now I have no money, as I will get check, I will give you money. But automatically, because he already stolen the money from this clergyman's house, so as he has given money to Mrs. Hall and to his landlord, they both became surprised that how is it possible? Because before one day he had no money and now today he had cash, how it's possible? The village constable was secretly sent for. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to scientist, who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. And automatically, as they both went to Griffin's room, Griffin was there because that time he was invisible. He removed his clothes and bandages and all the other things. But after some time, he worn again all these things. So as Mrs. Hall and her husband entered into his room, Griffin was there. So it was such a strange thing. I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs, she demanded. And I want to know how it is you came out of an empty room, how you entered a locked room. And so she asked how you entered into your room. It was a locked. The scientist was always quick-tempered. Now he became furious. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted very well. I will show you. So he became very angry and he replied that now I am showing you how I entered into into your room. Suddenly he threw all bandages, whiskers, spectacles and even nose, because nose also artificial. It took him only a minute to do this, and within a 1 minute he removed all the things, artificial nose, head, spectacles and clothes and shoes and all the things, and he became invisible. It took him only a minute to do this. The horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. Mrs. Jeffers, the constable, now arrived and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without a head. And as the constable, Mrs. Jeffer is constable, as he arrived and he found that a man without head, because he has not removed this shirt and pant. It means he removed only hat, bandages and spectacles. So he became headless man. So he was surprised that how can I arrest a headless man? But Jeffers was not easily prevented from doing his duty. If a magistrate's warrant ordered a person's arrest, then that person had to be arrested with or without his head. But it was a magistrate's order. It was a warrant by magistrate. So Mr. Jeffer decided that I have to arrest whether he has head or he has not head. There followed a remarkable scene as the policeman tried to get hold of a man who was becoming more and more invisible as he threw off one garment after another, and as he started to run and constable following him, one by one he was removing clothes. Finally a shirt flew into the air and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all. Some people tried to help him but found themselves hit by blows that seemed to come from now here. In the end, Jeffer was knocked unconscious and he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist, and one more time finally he pushed the scientist, but they were nervous, but again he found himself nervous because he was not able to catch the scientist, because he was invisible and he was throwing stones and other things also on the people, those were following him. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him, but this was easier said than done. Griffin had shaken himself free, but as someone catch him that time also, it was easy to make himself free. And no one knew where to lay hands on him, and no one was know that how he became free. So like this the chapter is over. So in this chapter we studied about a scientist whose name is Griffin, and how he made himself invisible, and how many things he faces, how difficulty he faces, and at the end constable was not also able to catch him. So you have to write this, think about it. 2 questions are there, this and the other additional questions I will send you. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day.